Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dana Dow, Lizani, Red Ivy in the house. You already know how I do. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to episode 2 of Tijuana to Vegas. We're just getting started and moving over to video format. So, welcome everybody. This is my cozy couch, but I wanted to go ahead and just thank everybody for listening to the previous podcasts and welcome you to the world of Urban Sci, my friends. And I wanted to go ahead and pick up where we left off on the last episode, just to have a little recap. I was talking about my roots and where I was born, and basically my journey from where I was born to get to Tijuana, so I can get to Tijuana to Vegas. In future episodes, my sister will be joining us, and I'll have other guests. So I'm super excited about this new podcast, and I hope everybody's been enjoying it. And please leave me your comments. Let me know other topics you'd like me to talk about, questions or whatnot. I want to keep this very open format, informal, and still informative, upbeat, uplifting, and hopefully funny. I'm a musician, and I've been playing music since I was 11. But it's funny because I've seen a bunch of interviews and stuff, and I guess they say that like people who are musicians and artists always dream of being comedians, and people who are comedians doing stand-up comedy have always dreamt about doing music or whatnot, being on stage. But I think it kind of like goes hand in hand with everything that what that art is when it comes to open format as an entertainer. Uh, I don't consider myself to be just one thing, and I have dropped the whole DJ name like 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, because literally everybody with the laptop became a DJ, and it's EDM, cheesy EDM came out, and everything from Global Underground in the back and in the past that I grew up listening to kind of, um, you know, went underground again. But I believe in the rise of the upper ground for sure. And you already know it's going to happen because it's happening now. That's why I'm on your screen. And I'd like to go ahead and thank the sponsors. I'm just fucking with you guys. I don't have any sponsors. This is 100% DIY. I invite you guys to subscribe to my page. You can check out my music videos, interviews, production, lives, shorts, and then Tijuana to Vegas podcast is the other newest. I also have my docuseries called My Darkest Demons. I just uploaded episode 7 called Welcome to Tijuana, and this was based off of my recent vacation maybe a few weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, that I got to go to my hometown of Tijuana and visit and just get re-energized by seeing my family and my culture and going and getting some more of my tattoos done. That's why I haven't shaved or been on video, because ever since I went to go shoot those music videos, after that I got tattooed up. So I just been waiting. It's healed now, so I'll be fresh by the next time you guys see me. But for now, I'm just keeping a creeper mode. But yeah. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing great, and I'm super excited for this holiday season. Usually I have extreme seasonal depression, but this year for me has been excellent, and it's been very transforming and very heartwarming just to see the amount of love that people have for me and my family and everybody. And I'm really blessed. So, on that note, I wanted to talk to you guys, pick up, on my story where I was telling you guys about me and my being in a body cast at the age of 5, which is where my previous episode kind of left the story of my origin stories. I'm trying to get everybody down to Tijuana so I can get them back to Vegas, and then we can be in the current day. So at the age of 5, so I woke up in this body cast, and literally I was tripping out, trying to push out. And I explained that in the last one. In this episode, last one I gave a lot of grace and gratitude to my mother for taking care of me. And I want to give a big shout out to all of you people who do nonprofit work, especially, and people who give care for elderly people or people who are disabled, because I've worked for several nonprofits. It's one of my things. I just opened the Starving Artist Academy. You can visit my handles at Portouls, Portouls, at Dana, Dana, .dau, DAU, like umbrella, and at the Starving Artist Academy. And for my label, it's at New, NU, Cash, CASH, New Cash Records. So it's at New Cash, New with a U, Records. And those are my Instagram handles. And my YouTube will be in the description of the video below. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe and give me a follow. Hook up the homie. I've been on YouTube for more than 10 years, and I've already went over 100 subscribers. So I keep my music and everything very underground. I never purchased a follow or like or any of those things in my life. I'm not about that. I think it's just about being organic, putting out your message, and just knowing that it'll reach the person or whoever it needs to be via web, source. When you're in alignment and balance, everything is possible, and I'm grateful that I was able to, recover from that traumatic incident when I was a kid. The funny thing I was telling you guys in the last episode is that, I turned into like a fucking ninja, because the body cast was from here all the way down to my legs, down here, and I had like a fucking stick across, and I just had a little cutout right here, and then in the back over here. So I was using all that, and I think it was like 8 or 9 months. It's close to a year that I was in the body cast, and it was trippy as a kid because all you could do is pretty much just crawl around arm style, and then you would have to sleep on your back or in front. That's why I have severe back pain over here, and I still live with that. But hey, it's better than not having a hip or leg or something else. And let's be grateful for that. But yeah, so I did have the thing like Forrest Gump, like literally the leg brace and everything. But before that, again, thanks to my mom for taking care of me all those years. And I remember when during that time when I was in that house, I don't remember exactly where they were, but when I interviewed my sister, I'll get those details. But during that time, my dad had gotten in a really bad accident, and he was hit by one of those semi trucks at a crosswalk, coming back from a bar across the street. He was drunk, and I just remember that happening, and it was super crazy because I couldn't get up or go see anything, but everybody was kind of like, it was my sister, my mom, and it was just like the neighbors, and because it was like a neighborhood thing in Cali, it's different. It's not like, there's no, Summerlin gangsters, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, get out of here, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's some Cali shit, dog, from LA. I was in LA at the time. I started from Harbor City to San Pedro, made my way down all the way, from Chula from Los Angeles counties, into Orange County, it's into San Diego counties, all the way down till I got to Tijuana. But yeah, I remember when I was um, I got really badass at flipping myself over, and then I got a lot of like upper body strength from that. But due to not being using my legs for so long, my muscles deteriorated, and I wasn't able to walk anymore. So I had to have physical therapy and learn to walk again. So it was a big ordeal, you know what I mean? Because when they took off my body cast, I had to be wheelchaired out. And I remember I was a kid. I wasn't even thinking about like my recovery or anything. And I remember when the doctor took the body cast out, he had the like little saw thing. He's like, "Don't worry." Like put it on his hand. He's like, "It doesn't cut. It only cuts the the yeso, whatever that's called, the cast." Body cast. That's my future DJ name, DJ Body Cast. And I will put a body cast on and I'll do the thing like that, so I can fucking health advocate for people in body casts. They can DJ too. It's super easy. Hit the sync button, go back and forth because they know I can teach them how to rock standing up. And you just go, hit the sync button, hit the sync button, fade in, fade out. Boom. DJ Body Cast is here. Anyway, so I was at the doctor and he cuts off this body cast that I've had on for like 10 months, right? So it's fucking stinky as fuck. You can imagine how casts smell. And I'm a kid, dude. I'm like, can I keep it? Can I keep it, please? I was like thinking about how I could use like my cars and like, use it as ramps, like the inside of the body cast when it's open in half. It still has like all these curvatures and like cool things. But I never thought about the smell. I was 5 years old, dude. I never thought about the smell or anything like that. So it was an experience. After that, my next memory is being at home, and like I remember they had put up railing, like across, like in the living room and stuff, like on the walls, like mid walls, so I could like. I guess like a kid, like a baby, I know I had to relearn to walk again because my muscles in my legs, thank God, they were good now. I'm able to run, jump, do all kinds of fucking parkour shit, crazy ninja shit, bro. I love it, and it's just such a blessing, And uh, so my parents were like, "Nah, dude, that body cast is not coming home with us. Like that's because it's trash." You know what I'm saying? I was like, whatever. So I just remember my mom a lot helping me during the days, because I would stay home with my mom. And my sister was old enough to go to school, and my dad was out working or whatever, wherever he was, and uh, so I remember like having to do my physical therapies, and I remember the first time that I ever walked, already being born. I guess the second time I've ever walked, and I was like holding one of those little railings like that, and I remember that I would just go from one little spot, try to do like 5 steps, and then hold on to something a couple steps at a time. I remember I was finally able to walk like 5 or 10 steps, and I was super proud of my mom. Got super excited. So then I began walking again, and then I began riding bikes again, skateboarding again, doing all this crazy stuff. So my life continued, and that was about the age of 5 to 6. So after that, we kind of moved around a lot because my parents separated, divorced at an early age of 7. So my mom took care of me and my sister. My dad went off to rehab, and that's one of the reasons why I don't drink, because I saw what happened to my father. And if you do your research, even if you just Google it, it's the most addictive drug, and the worst thing, worse than any drug in the world, is alcohol. And sobriety is an important thing for me. Also, celibacy has been an important thing for me because I've learned in my own self that I have a sexual vulnerability, and that's just the way I am, just based off of myself and my psychology and my profile and what my psychiatrist says. You know what I mean? And thank God that today I don't feel any anxiety, frustrations, anger, or anything like that. Chose a pill, and it's just great to have this, new format to work on because it's just liberating for me. And I wanted to give a big shout out and thanks to my family for um, helping me and supporting me through tough times. It's been years of a lot of hard work and staying sober and getting healthy, and I'm still on my journey. So I want everybody to know that if I can do it, you can do it. I'm the living proof and the living truth that this used to be like this from drinking beer. I mean, these are my old clothes. Look how big the sweater fits me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's comfortable to have a sweater like that now because it's a different size and it's just transformative. Is that a word? Uh, I don't know. I make up words sometimes. I'm a wordsmith. That's what I am. Um, but nah, yeah. So that was just like a little tip out there for all my people with mental health and stuff because I've gone through it and I know what it's like. So stay up, my peeps. You already know it's all good. Hit that subscribe button, dude. I'm always here to give you inspiration. And again, daily tips on whatever it is that I'm talking about. So, for example, today, let's talk a little bit about the anxieties that caused of being in that body cast, and then how it felt when finally the body cast was taken off. And I want to use that as kind of a visual form of explaining this next part for people who don't have mental health illness that might not understand. So in that situation, I had a physical illness that there was an operation, and then there was a recovery point and period in my life that was done through medical and had to be in a body cast and recovery, physical therapy, and so on. So for people like me who have suffered from either manic depression, anxiety, um, I mean, there's a lot of mental illnesses out there, but the most common one is depression. That a lot of people don't even know they're depressed because you're in the 9 to 5 all day, and you're just worked out like a workhorse, and you're tired all the time. You hate your boss. You got to take care of your kids when you get home. It's only a limited amount of time. So why live like that? If there's other ways to live, now it's the future. Now it's different because now there's the internet. So with the internet, we have different forms of making money, and we have different forms of being our own bosses. And I think financial freedom is one of the most important things to have aside of health. Health, wealth, and happiness are the top three, is what I say. My priorities is obviously, the universe and God first. Make sure my family's okay, and then I take care of myself, you know what I mean? But I'm blessed today to even have a house over my head, to be able to speak into this computer and be able to get this message out because I believe it is a message from the universe. I believe that I can channel when I'm correctly aligned and balanced, and I'm able to focus with the universe and have my higher being right here connected to the universe up there, be able to be in complete alignment from all my chakras to my higher self up to higher being. So that said, on the tip of anxiety is what I wanted to say. And that's crazy. So for the longest time, I thought that I just had severe asthma. And this is the best way that I can explain to somebody who doesn't have anxiety or claims they don't have anxiety. This is what you feel like. You feel like you probably use an inhaler, and you feel like you need your inhaler to breathe. So you feel like you need your inhaler to breathe, and it's kind of like when you do a bunch of exercise and you feel like overexcited, or maybe if you're asthmatic and you go to a bar and a lot of people are smoking, maybe the next day you might feel sick, or you might feel not as well as usual. You might need to use your nebulizer. I use a nebulizer, the purple disc. I use the blue inhaler. I use all the things, and it's difficult. I've overcome dyslexia. I'm short Mexican. I'm balding. I've conquered all my self-esteem issues, and even then, I still have some because I'm human. You're not gonna feel confident 100% of the time, all the time. But if you don't, then all you need to do is just do this. So there's a couple of different meditation breathings that I've seen online that I've used myself that I can personally tell you that works for anxiety. And I'm going to give you my top 3. So one of the top things that I do, and this is without medication, this is just the holistic way that you can get through a panic attack. Because I've had panic attacks before where I didn't have medicine with me and I needed to calm myself, or I did have the medicine and I wanted to challenge myself to know that if the medicine was there, however, that I could overcome this moment and that feeling by simply using my mind and just breathing techniques and whatnot. And breathing techniques is number 1. So breathing techniques. So there's the 4-4-8 breathing technique, which is you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, and you exhale for 8 seconds. So if we try to, it would be like, see, I already feel better because my lungs are and my body's getting more oxygen. So with people who have anxiety, is that we start, I can only say my own opinion. I'm a talker, so I'll just be talking. When I get anxiety, I get so ramped up sometimes, and it can be because of a situation that happened in the day, or it can be because of my family. I mean, there's 1,000 million reasons why anxiety could happen. It could happen because of traffic. We all have different triggers, and I think triggers is another thing that we'll talk about in a different podcast, because we all have them, and there's different things. I can only give you my point of view. So for the breathing technique, you have the 4-4-8. There's also 3-3-6. So one of them's for your heart, one of them's for your mind. And you can look these things up on Google, YouTube, other videos. Literally, the information that I'm giving you is information that I learned either from facilities that I visited, from professionals, psychiatrists, and doctors, and also included with techniques that I've seen online and used myself that I can say, yes, this does work 100% for me and for my diagnosis on how I am. And you already know, for everybody in my mental health community, how it is out there. We're all different. And you know what? For all communities, we're all different. We all go through different things. We all have different lives. And nobody can know what the other person is going through. That's why let's be kind to each other, people. You know what I'm saying? That's why this world is so anxious and so just like ADD oriented, because everybody wants instant gratification. But back in the day, we didn't have internet or instant gratification or cell phones. We played with sticks and stones, and we didn't have internet videos and stuff where we could do cool podcasts and stuff like this. So anybody under the age of whatever age I am, 40s, really take advantage of what you have and make the best of it, because you are privileged to be a born in the age where there's internet, computers, and everything easily accessible to you. So, as a musician and for all the starving artists out there, keep doing what you're doing and just don't stop. Because no matter what, God is going to bless you with greater things. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's watching, because it's just it's a trip to be able to have my own podcast. And also, if you hit that subscribe or check out Portals, just real quick, while I said that, let me go ahead and do my plug. I just dropped a new album called Tijuana Savage. There's a new docu-series out and a couple episodes of the new podcast. Anyway, getting back to the breathing technique. 336. You can use either of those two, use both of them, or just take deep breaths to create oxygen. This will calm your anxiety attack. Another thing that I have, a technique that I have learned to close looping. And anybody who's a looper is that person that keeps thinking of the same thing that happened the day or the day before or the week before, or somebody else said something. First of all, don't let anybody's words have any control over your emotions. That's an absolute no to begin with. That just has to be your boundary set, and that just has to be your mindset. Because if not, like literally, that's because if people have control over your emotions, then that means you have no control over yourself. So anything anybody tells you on the bus or driving or at work or whatever, you're going to be thinking about that. It means you're looping. So you guys are called loopers. I used to be a looper too. So I'm going to give you a boom. My second, number 2 technique for anxiety, because anxiety, usually within the loop of anxiety, is looping. So because you're thinking of the same thing that happened over and over again, causing that anxiety to happen and getting you manic, getting you ramped up, feeling anxious. You might start, trembling. I don't know. Everybody has different reactions. You might even have a panic attack and need to have to take medication. So this is very serious, guys. So in order to close that loop, because some of us have different diagnoses, you can't know how other person's mind is thinking. So just as a very basic rule on my anxiety, I do my breathing technique, and then I close any loops that might be open. So anything that's in my mind that might be jogging back and forth, like a hamster on a wheel, what I do is I create some kind of closure for whatever that thought is. Because usually those thoughts are something that you're not going to be able to clear up. You're not going to see that person. You're not going to know. There probably never will be closure. It's just like fear. The anxiety of fear, and the anxiety of fear. The definition of fear is having anxiety or frustrations or fear of something that most likely and has scientifically shown will not happen. So fear is in your mind, and anxiety, so you have your breathing technique, and then you have to close your loops. So identify the problem, what it is that's causing you anxiety, and then go ahead and think of why it's causing anxiety, and also think if this is going to affect you in 5 minutes, will it affect you 5 days from now, or will it affect you 5 years from now? If you said no to the last one and it's literally not going to affect your life, then you need to slap yourself in the face, go look in the mirror, take a shower or something, and calm your ass down. Because you're on one. Seek professional help. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm just being straight up with you guys on that louder milk type shit. But anyway. So anxiety is for the people who do not have it or claim to not have it, or that mental diseases don't exist. If you've ever had or been in a body cast, that's anxiety. If you've ever had a cast on, that's anxiety. Why? Because you have no control over when you get out of it. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe going to jail or something like that, where there's kind of like, there's no limit on how long you're going to be in there. It's indefinite. Depends on the doctors, you know. So that's kind of like what it is. Or if you can't relate to that, put it in a financial situation, because honestly, the root of all evil is not money. The root of all evil is not having money. So we want to have healthy, wealthy lives, because we want to create generational wealth that's going to spread for our children and gap at least 4 more, you know. So that way we know that our family is set. That's called generational wealth, ladies and gentlemen. That's when you become a self-made boss and a self-made person. It's when you're able to speak like this with confidence and say, hey, I'm self-made. I know what I'm doing here. So because of this academy, I was able to learn the techniques that I needed in order to get back online and grow a little bit. So sometimes we just need a little push. But to all my loopers, just if you need to, make something up. You're probably never going to see these people again. They don't care about you. They don't pay your bills. They're not your parents. So stop worrying about them. Only people that matter is your family and God and yourself. And try to keep it close knit with your circle, because literally you are the 5 people that you hang out with, and that's just basic psychology. And I can't wait to introduce you guys to my sister. But my third technique, guys, for anxiety, because I know this seems like I'm all over the place, but I'm definitely trying to pack in as much information as I can in the least amount of time, so that this is informational, fun, and it's kind of all over the place. But this is a podcast, and if you're following me, then you're my type of person, and if you're not, then it's not for you. I totally understand. Like, I wish you the best. You know, go check out Joe Rogan or whatever. I love Joe Rogan. Run JRE all day. So, the third one that I do for anxiety is walking or exercising or pacing. Pacing back and forth, whether it's in your house or around the block. Getting fresh air is always the best. If you're looking scruffy like me, mine is with purpose, because I got some tattoos done on my head and on my face and stuff. So I don't want to shave my you know, and get any of the ink fall out yet, because it's still healing. But I'll show you guys my head when it's fully healed, which will be like probably tomorrow. But fresh air and the morning sunlight, so especially when the sun's coming out. Get up early, go outside, even if it's cold or hot, wherever you live, it doesn't matter. Just go out there and get that sunlight and walk around your block. If you have a dog and emotional support animal, take him out for a walk. You know, give him some care. When you get what you give. So if you haven't given anything, start giving gratitude for what you have. And if you don't feel like you have anything, maybe you have some place to live. If you're watching this, then you have to give gratitude because you have internet. Then you must have a phone, or you must have some device. So you're connected. So there's no way that you can be feeling alone at this time. And at this point, I can just say there's tons of podcasts and stuff for mental health. So let's help each other and push each other to take care of each other. And so those are my 3 for anxiety. Breathing techniques, and then pacing, and then obviously getting, sunlight, air, or whatnot. You know, if you're having a panic attack and you don't have your medicine, call 911. You know what I mean? If not, use your medication. You know, don't try to get through it just to be tough. It's not good for your body. It feels bad. That's something that I had to learn, because people used to pill shame me. I used to pill shame people before I understood what mental health and advocacy was. But now that I've been through this a certain amount of time, I'm able to say, hey, I understand what that is. So let's go ahead and, try to do my little part. So that got me out of the body cast. Now I've got you guys caught up to where I'm walking now. I'm taking my first steps, and I know my parents have parted, and I'm making my way down south. And I'll go ahead and recap in the next episode. Thank you guys for those who are listening. Thank you guys for those who are watching a video. There is more coming soon. And this is your boy Double Dipper signing off. Rosani Red Ivy in the house. Shout out to Portouls, New Cash Records, DNA Productions. To my father, Dana Dow Sr. I am Dana Dow Jr. AK Chris Magic, or just the Double Dipper, Dipskis, Dipperuskis, El Dipperino, whatever you want, whatever you got, bring it my way. There ain't no cost. So anyway, and if you're about music or whatnot, hit me up in the comments super fast, and let's collaborate. I'm all about it, 100%. Anyway, thank you for listening to episode 2 of Tijuana to Vegas. This concludes this podcast, and we hope you tune into the next one, and I'll see you then.